right now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Kind of.
There you go.
Yeah, you was typing instead of talking, so...
Yeah. Alright, so... After missing last week, and after the chaos of today, we're gonna try to finally get this session run. I will warn you in advance.
Guys, I gotta leave.
I will warn you in advance, I've probably had not nearly enough Jack Daniels for this. So that may or may not come into play, I don't know.
Could make it better or worse.
Just drink half a bottle right now. It'll fix you right up.
Well, part of the reason that we're late is I did drink a pint of Jack and Coke before we started.
Damn!
I normally mix 2 liters before the Monday night game, 50-50, and that's my allowance for the night.
50-50? Bruh, impressive.
Yeah, that's just keeping me even. I'm mixing it as I go tonight, though, so you might hear pouring as I'm... So, where we left off 2 weeks ago, we had Roach, big, ugly, soulless ginger guy. I know the character's not ginger, but, you know. Along with Aodin and McGee, cozily tucked up in the local jail. Having a great time of it, I suppose. The Gilcrest jail, which I did note previously, seems far too well built, far too fortified for the town of Gilcrest, or the village of Gilcrest. In addition to that, those of you who have been here before know that there was one sheriff in Gilcrest previously, and on your return here you have been met by a group of men wearing armor who introduced themselves as the Knights of Gilcrest. That's quite unusual for a group of knights to spring up out of nowhere within the course of a few months. As we begin tonight, the 3 of you who are in prison are also now coming to realize that there is a 4th person in the cells here with you, who currently is apparently sleeping off the after effects of whatever brought him in here last night. And it's around this time that you awaken. It'll take me a minute to get your character's name. Matt.
Silas.
Silas, there we go. Silas, you begin to come to, having been quite inebriated during the events of last night, that we've already discussed while you're in here. As you begin to come to, you look around the cells and realize that there are 3 other people in here with you. In the next cell over from you, there... Pardon me. There is what appears to be a human gentleman. Would you like to describe how McGee is currently dressed?
Shit. Currently he's dressed in his typical southern gentleman / cowboy outfit with his long coattails and, fancy clothes and such like that. Because as he went into the station, he was not currently in his unfortunate, hideous drag queen outfit. So yeah.
Dude, you had like a nat 20 and...
Oh, it was incredible. I was like the most hideous looking drag queen you've ever seen, so ugly, nobody would even talk to you. Just be like, oh my god,
you were spot on, like, mwah.
Yeah.
If you're into
Change
that.
out of that, luckily.
Now I'm just sitting here looking perplexed, being like, I knew I should have left those people to die. Most egregious.
Then,
I can't do a Wild West accent, unfortunately.
No, see, this is more of the southern charm, you see, not really the west.
Close enough.
shut up,
Exaggeration,
Billy.
I will admit, but
You then notice on the other side of you, a couple cells down, and these are barred cells, so you can see between the various cells. You notice an elven gentleman. How is Eodin currently dressed? Is he in his standard accoutrements?
Let's see. If I remember correctly, I had to give up my magic items, right?
You did, yes.
Yeah, so he doesn't have his headband.
Besides your, I think it was ring or locket.
Well, yeah.
The branch ring.
Yeah.
No, he has normal clothing. So yeah, he's just dressed in standard elven attire, I guess, from Steel. Whatever that might look like.
Yeah, standard elven attire is still quite old-fashioned looking by most standards. So it might be a like quite a nice tunic type ensemble rather than like a button-up shirt. Elven style, if I could speak, still tends towards kind of more flowing, unbuttoned ensembles.
Right, like overlapping robes,
Yeah,
things
overlapping
like that.
robes rather than like a buttoned shirt and things like that. And then across the way from you, in one of the cells, you see what is clearly a rusted out hulk of what could only be a statue, because, oh my god, why would a person still be wearing that? It looks like a suit of Titan Paladin's power armor. The Paladins of Titan are not the official police force of the town, but they are a peacekeeping force based in the town. Their armor is normally pristine. You notice in this case, this armor looks to be rusted to hell, except for one shoulder pauldron, which looks shiny and new. Roach, did you have your helmet on or off whenever you were?
Off.
Off. Yeah, because all of your systems are currently disabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do see the man in the armor is youngish. Doesn't really seem to fit the armor from what you can see.
Interesting.
Yeah. I picture a guy who basically, like, if someone put on his dad's suit.
Yeah,
Right.
that kind of impression.
Yeah, like, technically it kind of fits, but you can see that's not his.
Yeah, it just seems mismatched slightly in some way. And yeah, you come around and see these three sitting in these cells around you.
And okay, do they are they talking or what are they doing? Do they look
yes,
like
I
they all
just
know each
murmured.
other?
I just murmured. I knew I should have left those people to die.
Aodin is sat meditating.
Roach is pretending not to hear his friend saying that he should leave him to die. Like, well, I didn't hear that.
Many assumptions were made with the choice of the word "friend," but that's fine.
Trust in the system, Roach.
Yeah,
You'll
right.
get out of this.
Who's not logged into Roll20? Shane.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm sorry. I logged into a different game.
Ah.
I don't have vision on this screen. Just I see my
Same.
character.
Eternal blackness.
Yeah, I just see my.
Dave
Picture.
Chappelle show.
I should make a token.
You should have vision.
Don't at the moment. I can see me.
Same.
Silas, what have I been allowed to keep with me? Have I been allowed to keep all my clothes and stuff?
Anything that is not a weapon or magical in nature, they weren't really that bothered about.
Okay. Silas is wearing a kind of tanned shirt, a dark kind of waistcoat, and something of a jacket, like a duster. And he just seems to be watching you guys through the bars of his cell for now.
Can you see any better now?
Yes.
I can see now, yeah.
Right, I realized what I had done. Alright, yeah, so as you're all kind of sat there looking around at each other, what you do notice about this place is that there are a number of cells. As I said, they are bars, so that you can see each other through them, but they are very narrow bars. And the doors on the end are actually crisscrossed, so they've got vertical and horizontal bars.
So we can't get our hands through.
You might, well, the others might be able to get a hand through. With your gauntlet, you would not be able to. But it would be, even for just a standard hand, it would be a tight fit. The other thing that I will call out is that there is one room down at the end of the hallway here, on the kind of eastern side, the same area where the torchlight is coming from. And you do know that you saw one of the guards go into that room carrying one of the boxes of equipment.
Well, I'm waiting for my trial, because that's the right way of doing this. So, if someone's gonna break any of us out, maybe someone else.
So wait, we would still have like our tinder boxes, mess kits, food and water skins, stuff like that.
Any of that stuff.
Okay. Guys, let's attack them with a cooking pan.
I will
Get your cooking pans out.
I was smothering with them with jerky.
Smear the walls with shit, guys. It's our only option.
Yes.
We got a what was his name? Shit, I can't remember that Englishman's name.
Matt.
What? No, not here. Like, it's this old fighting guy who always used to smear shit on walls and fight. He was crazy.
I think that's just you.
Bronson.
Right.
It's a good movie.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, that's that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Roach is just staying put. He was told he would receive a trial, and because he's obviously innocent, everything will work out just fine.
Okay. Meanwhile, as you guys are sat in your cells, we're going to cut back to the tavern, where Keegan, after spending a little bit of time making sure that the wagon was ready to go, you have gone back into the tavern. Sorry. You have gone back into the tavern, and you did actually ask the barkeep at one point if any of the people that you had been traveling with had been seen, and he did let you know that someone came and spoke to the elf and the human, and they set off in the direction of the jail about an hour or two ago.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to the jail.
You don't want to go in and see if you can check on them?
No. I'm going to ask if someone can go and check to see if there are a number of people who basically have arrived at the jail who have the same descriptions as the what is it called? As the group. I'm basically asking someone to go in my stead and see.
Okay. Ah. Shit. That was supposed to be a whisper, but oh well. Okay. Yeah, you ask, are you offering any kind of a payment for that? Because obviously, you're asking someone to go out of their way to...
Yes, I will give them 5 gold.
Brilliant. Yeah, at that price, someone happily jumps up and heads off in that direction. While you are actually waiting for them to return, give me a perception check.
Okay. 21.
Very nice. As you are sat there, you actually notice, back in the very back corner of the bar, where it's quite shadowed, you notice one of the men that was in the back room earlier. It looks like he is sat watching the room.
Okay. I make believe like I am just going about my business, drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I wait.
Okay. About 15, 20 minutes passes. And the person that ran off to check the prison for you returns. And he does actually say to you that a number of people... excuse me.
Oh dear.
Damn, Casey.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
You good? You good?
I'm good. I'm back. Sorry.
Alright.
A number of people matching the descriptions that you gave have actually been detained. He also lets you know that the knights were asking onto the identity of the person who was inquiring. So he does tell you that he did give them a description because he doesn't want any trouble, but because he's also not, really... he doesn't actually really want to be involved at all. He's not bothered about, not warning you or anything, so he's letting you know that he told them that you were the person.
Okay. I give him 5 extra gold and I leave.
Run! Run! They'll get you.
Before I leave, I go over to the one of the guys. Which one? Is it Pyro?
It is actually Squint.
Squint. Okay. Go over to Squint. And I just sort of, as I'm leaving, just say, looks like my group got themselves in a little bit of trouble. I'll be back to try and get them out.
He kind of looks at you and he says, check your cargo before you go anywhere.
I nod and I slowly make my way back to the cart and I check my cargo.
You go to open the cart, and as soon as you do, you are met with a blue glowing light and quite a large pistol very near to your face. At which point he immediately realizes it's you and says, just, making sure it wasn't any of the locals. And then he steps back further into your cart, kind of out of sight of anyone outside.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this is Spark. And he kind of, as he steps back, is almost kind of waiting for you to step in.
Yeah, I step in.
He kind of waits until you've stepped in and closed the door, and then he kind of looks up at you. And it's actually quite eerie because you don't have any lights going in your cart, but the actual gun that he's holding is letting off a glow. So this cart is kind of lit with this whitish blue crackling electricity. It's actually quite reminiscent of whenever you used to travel with Zephyr.
He has never traveled with Zephyr.
Oh, no, actually, that's true. You joined the group after he left, didn't you? So actually, you're the only person in the group that would not recognize that. Never mind.
Also, nobody but... Yeah.
Yeah, the entire group... everyone but Aodin has actually left that was part of that. Never mind.
Everybody but Aodin and Chris.
Roach,
Christopher.
Yeah.
Roach. Yeah. Did you call me Chris, you motherfucker?
Christopher Roaches.
Who do you think you are?
Use your full name.
Yeah, so once you stepped in, he kind of looks over at you and he says, Your friends have gotten themselves pretty deep, haven't they?
It seems like it. The old person who used his armor apparently did a lot of bad things. And now he's here, and I think he's him. Or at least that he might have done bad things as well.
Yeah, that very well may be the story they're giving. I don't think it's the truth. I've got to be honest. We didn't exactly tell you everything before. But, in the spirit of continued friendship, I think it's time we tell you a little bit more. Just a second.
Yeah, I'm Kissy.
Sorry.
It's fine.
This is me when I've not been drinking. I can't breathe. When I've drunk enough, I get, my throat relaxes and I can breathe better. So, bottoms up. Yeah, he basically says to you that, in the spirit of continued alliances, he thinks they need to tell you a little bit more about what's going on.
I say, alright. And I sort of pull up like a empty crate. Sit.
We, as we explained, we know that someone within the city is working against Titan. What we didn't give you was the rest of the information about the cult. We officially, as I said, or as Pyro said before, we eliminated the cult, the cult's influence. The disappearances are not, as far as we can determine, kidnappings. They seem to more fit the profile of recruitment. These are not people who are being taken on the road. These are people who are going onto the road to join this group. Loners, people without strong ties, people who travel alone, people who travel with money. They're people who don't as often get noticed. Prime candidates for recruitment. We also know that many of those who have disappeared, as with the gentleman that you have unconscious over there, and you just point to the guy that's still unconscious in your cart.
Mm-hmm.
You have an unconscious guy in your...
Gagged, yeah.
Yeah, he has
When?
an unconscious guy. The guy from the bar?
What? When did this happen?
Last
You don't remember
session.
this?
The
tiefling from the bar that slammed his head against the bar.
Okay, yeah, okay. Now I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you...
up in the...
Okay, I thought you had some kind of side adventure or something. I don't know.
No, you were in the session for it.
Yeah, I was there. I remember now.
Yeah.
It's clear as day.
Sorry, I've just swapped my my picture for a token.
I'll sort it out.
Cool.
He explains to you then that very much like the gentleman there in the tavern, many of those who were taken seem to have resurfaced. Many of those who have resurfaced
Have come here.
have done so wearing a new banner, calling themselves the Knights of Gilcrest.
Oh, shit.
And let me guess, these Knights of Gilcrest, they have some serious ties with the local guards.
Well, previously there was a local guard. They've offered their services, and the sheriff, who was a good man of 30 or more years' service, retired to be with his daughter in Titan. They've, for the most part, taken over policing the town. Which, of course, is why the story that, as far as we are aware, the cult is gone.
Right. This is going to be a lot more dangerous than I thought. I originally had thought that perhaps I could get some of my friends, my trader friends, to come down and vouch for them. That they are good people, that they've been helped. That was my original plan, but now I don't think it will matter.
I can tell you this. Pyro may not agree. Oh, hello, Jamie.
Hey,
Yo.
I've given up trying to sleep, so
Damn.
I've just dropped the bomb on the group that they've all let themselves get arrested, and now the cult that they were hunting actually is the guards in the town that just arrested them.
This is...
oh, you twits.
Yeah. Roach is still in the... is
I
still
thought it
in
was
jail,
only
like...
Roach
No. I
It's
got
everyone but
and
Doc.
Aiden and
Yeah.
Everybody
I got
but
the
me.
rest arrested.
It's
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah,
but
okay.
Doc.
I was like, I want legal representation, and people came and they're like, so you're
You're with
friends with
him?
him? Yeah, cool.
Okay,
Well,
you're in
let's
jail.
cut them too. Yeah. And we're just like, this is all right. This is the law.
this is fine.
They voluntarily handed over all of their weapons and magic items and walked into the cells.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, okay, and continue, because now I want to know what the fuck's happening.
Casey, quick question. Did you see that whisper?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So as Spark basically is explained to you, he says, I feel like, well, we feel like if we had warned you, things might have gone differently.
A little bit.
We can get them out. But if we do it, well, we've been thinking about moving on anyway. But I would not consider coming back to Gilcrest to be a good idea in the future.
Shit. Am I gonna have another town on my conscience?
But wouldn't that compromise your mission?
As I said, we've been looking to move south anyway.
I see. The other option is... Exactly.
He kind of
but
stops and waits.
the other option is that I, myself, with no involvement of yours, find out a plan and execute it to try and get them out. But since they are, in fact, cult members, no matter what I do, it will most likely end in violence.
Very possibly, yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
There is a literal fork in the road. Is that yours?
No. We believe that it may have something to do with these Knights of Gilcrest. We did some scanning on it, and it seems to amplify how the magic zone affects people. We think that it may have been a trap set for us, but as of yet, it's not affected us.
Interesting.
Have I been able to sneak any of my thieves' tools in with me?
Roll me a sleight of hand. Or is it sleight of hand anymore? Whatever, yeah, that.
It is sleight of hand, yes.
Yeah.
Or thieves' tools. You could actually roll thieves' tools.
It would be sleight of hand more to conceal them rather than actually
okay.
use them.
Got it.
Hide
14.
them up your butt.
I was about to say, just shove them up there and you get a +5 to whatever roll.
I mean, that was a really bad roll, considering I have a +9.
Oh,
Yeah.
but that 19 though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them actually did spot the ones that you concealed and took them off of you.
He's like the rubber glove.
Yeah, there were two guys that were just oblivious, and then
Yeah.
that one guy just kind of looks you over and goes, and takes them off of you.
Okay.
Rubber glove is like, this is the one good invention from Titan.
I'm gonna turn to the the guy in the cell next to me, and I'm going to say to him, so, may as well see if I can find anything out while I'm in here. Have you, Bright Stars, heard anything about bad company?
Shane, that's you.
Bad company?
You're the guy next to him. You're the one he's talking to.
I have no idea what he's talking about. No. No.
Alright.
He looked at the camera and was like, I have no idea what this man's talking about, and then turned back to him and was like, no.
Yeah, it's one of those fourth wall breaking moments
Yeah.
in the series.
Okay. Okay, clearly, the people in these cells are not here because they're dangerous.
Aoden and Roach, you did hear this conversation.
Oh, now
They're
you figured out.
simply here because they are.
Very well in this.
There we go. Now you figured out my ploy. That's the entire thing I'm going for to get out of this.
They're obviously here because they're incompetent, not because they're
Exactly.
dangerous.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna have a look around my cell to see if there's a bit of metal, a nail, or anything like that I could try to
All right.
pick the lock with.
Give
My
me
friend, I would
a
suggest we just sit here.
investigation.
You can hear Roach from the other side. Jailing one's legal representation is against regulation. I believe.
It's a 6. That's shit.
You do not find you do find a rock,
You know what?
but
Hold
it's
on.
very
One
round
second.
and smooth and too big to
Can I-
do anything with.
Can I just use? Let me just get it.
Why don't you grow a
Leverage.
very long fingernail.
Decidedly average to give myself a 10.
Okay.
Plus 1, so 11.
An 11. Okay. You find that big round rock, and then as you keep looking around, excuse me. As you keep looking around, you kind of sit down a bit frustrated, and you actually go to throw the rock, just kind of a little bit annoyed, and it hits the outside wall and drops, and you look down where it hits the ground, and you do see something that looks like it might be a sliver of metal of some kind.
All right, I'm gonna go and have a closer look.
Okay, you head over there and you pick it up and you look at it. It does look to be a carpenter's nail, but it
Okay.
looks very brittle.
That's fine.
You're not sure how useful it will be.
That's fine. I'm gonna go and address the Iron Giant over there, and he says, "Don't happen to know anything, do you?"
I know a lot of things.
About bad company. You can see he's kind of saying the name with a bit
Yeah.
of derision.
Yeah, and I think you can see Roach's face kind of go. My legal representation is in the cell next to you. I don't.
God damn it, Roach.
I don't know what is wise to divulge in the setting we're in right now.
Well, I'm obviously not gonna tell anyone.
That's very true. Well, we actually met Bad Company in a tavern, right? In that
Shut
direction.
up, Roach.
Aiden, is that you?
Yes, please. Shut up. Please.
Oh.
I beg.
Met them in a tavern. Do you know which tavern that was?
If
I've
we
been
get out of here,
advised.
we'll tell you. For now,
well.
I recommend remaining silent as the guards still probably are listening. Or can hear us.
Well, but why tapping someone against their knowledge? without
Can
their
I-
knowledge? fine. The mantis
Can
also
I
gets
tell
like,
if anyone is listening? Can I see any shadows under the doors or anything like that?
Perception.
Well, I have a passive perception of 23.
23. That's right. Yeah.
What the
wow,
fuck?
shit. Man.
I'm the elf? What the fuck?
I can roll if needed.
No, 23 doesn't. The equipment room down on the end where the cases were taken.
Yep.
The light that's shining out of that room through the kind of bars in the door. That one is a solid room, but it still has a gated, like a barred door. You can see what looks like a shadow moving from time and again. That kind of gives you an indication that there's something or someone moving around in that room.
Okay. I'm going to have a look at the people in the cell, and in Elvish, I'm gonna say, do you understand me? Do you reckon they understand me?
I take out my little elf book, like, and in very broken Elvish, Roach says, "Me speak the tongue of cow."
Okay. Silas just looks at him with like awe in his eyes, like, "Wow, I've never seen such a display." And then,
Likely true.
yeah. And I'm just gonna turn to the other guy next to me, in the cell next to me, flash the carpenter's nail, and say quietly to him, "If you want to get out, I can maybe get us out, but you guys have to share whatever information you have."
Oh, allow me then to tell you the situation. I lean in and tell you. You see, the paladin over there is a complete rube who actually thinks that the law shall save him. The other one is the most stuck-up, obnoxious elf I have ever met in my life. And I say, sir, I have met several. The other dwarf seems to be so surly that he can't even manage to show up when he's half the time. I wouldn't worry. These people are the least offensive people I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
Can I hear that?
With a 20, yes, you did hear that.
Well,
Aiden remains silent.
I will never remember this. Sorry, go ahead.
Silas just like slowly shakes his head, like, "Oh my god," and he just says, "Okay, you have information on Bad Company. I want the information. If you want to get out of here, you give me the information."
Of course, agreed, sir.
All right. I'm gonna take the carpenter's nail and see if I can pick the lock
Oh, allow me to help you.
from
If
a
this
different
nail
cell.
breaks, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Okay.
What? I meant,
Okay. I'm gonna use my human determination. Give myself advantage.
Okay. That's good, because with the quality of the nail you're using, you had disadvantage.
All right.
So you can now roll a
Straight
standard
roll.
lockpicks.
All right. 18.
Yeah.
What's the lock's constitution?
can I deceive the lock, Dungeon Master?
I would like to intimidate the lock.
I stare at that until the iron breaks.
Okay. With that, you feel like you have made progress on the lock, but it is not opened yet.
Ah,
So give me another
Wow.
roll.
give it a good kick.
Another sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
It would be thieves to
Natural 20.
Nice.
Very nice.
You done
How many
did
times can
it.
you use human determination, though?
Only once.
So this
All
is
right.
actually still at disadvantage.
Oh.
Okay.
Just roll another nat 20.
Yeah.
It's
So
fine.
shut up. Don't jinx it.
Okay,
You
14.
jinx it.
What is that? That's wait, what did I roll?
4.
5. I rolled a 5. All right, I'm going to use decidedly average again and give myself a 10.
So that's
Okay.
19.
So that's a 19.
Okay. With that, the lock seems to be nearly there, but give me a perception.
23.
23.
All right.
That's right. I keep forgetting.
21 rolled.
You start looking at it, and you do, as you start working out what's going on, you do realize that this is actually a 3-stage lock.
All right. Okay.
So you've currently bypassed 2 stages of it.
All right.
There does, I will also warn you though, because of your passive perception, there does appear to be a trap on the 3rd stage.
Okay.
Disable.
Yeah. Can I do anything about the trap?
You can attempt to disable it.
Okay. What would that be?
That
Another
would-
sleight of hand.
Is it sleight of hand to disable?
No, thieves' tools.
I mean, he should have been using thieves' tools this entire time, but
Yeah, I think it's actually the same.
I think it's the
roll,
same.
So, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so sleight of hand and/or thieves' tools.
Okay. Well, I don't have thieves tools, so sleight of hand it is.
What do you mean you don't have?
I think he's probably just not put it on.
Because
the
he's in a
sheet
jail
in
cell.
that, yeah.
No, I mean you told me I don't have any of my thieves tools.
Oh,
No,
so
but it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
the
yeah, you're
proficiency.
using
Yeah,
the-
'cause
the
he's in a
rusty
jail
nail.
cell.
You're using the rusty nail, yeah.
Right, which is like thieves' tools with disadvantage, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Walmart fees tools.
20 on the dex anyway.
One more.
On
You are
the
still at disadvantage.
oh right, oh
You're using-
disadvantage, right? Okay.
Can you just take a 10 or something?
24.
So
And
20.
with that, the lock, you seem to have disabled the trap.
You got an
Alright.
18, a 19, and then a 20. Look at that.
Damn.
So now you are through
And,
2 out of the 3 stages, and you have disabled the trap.
Okay. Is there any other funny business?
I'm funny.
What do you mean, like traps?
Yeah, any other funny business with the lock? Like, is there gonna, does it look like there's anything else that's gonna come into play, like an alarm or anything?
Bad mom
do
jokes.
you know? Are you proficient in Arcana?
I am not.
Okay. You notice, because of your perception, that there are some kind of strange symbols carved on the lock,
Okay.
but you don't have any idea what they are.
Okay. I'm gonna shout at the. Can I see the elf from here? I can see the elf from here.
Yeah, you can see all of the other prisoners. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shout at the elf, like not shout obviously, but say to the elf, "You look like a magic sort. Take a look at your lock. What do you reckon with the symbols?"
Sorry, if I head up to the lock on my door, am I able to peer into it?
Give me a perception check.
Yoink.
Very nice.
Oh wait, no, I do not have fuck, I don't have advantage on it. What was the first roll?
It was
19.
No, 20.
Yeah, you still got it. Easily. You start looking, and you do see some arcane
Yeah.
runes on the door. And as you start looking, you also then see beneath the door on the floor, there are also runes carved. And give me an Arcana roll.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. 29.
Yeah, I figured you would get that. But you start looking at it, and what you realize is that although you're not exactly sure where it is, there is something set up that basically says whenever one of these doors is open, as in whenever the door is not over that part of the floor that is the closed position, a sound will be going off somewhere.
I look over to him and say, an alarm spell. I don't know where, but it probably alerts everyone.
Hmm.
The
Can you do
second
anything
you open the door.
Right. Can you do anything about it?
In your cell, not from here. In mine's filled with anti-magic, so I'm useless in that regard.
That's horrible. Are you alright?
I feel just fine.
Okay.
Aren't you?
Well, actually, no, I don't feel just fine. Just now remembered, my race does not work well in anti-magic fields.
No.
I need to look up what happened. So shit. I think I
Sorry.
actually do take damage.
Whoops.
Wait, Digger, can you
Mhm.
see right now because of royal vision? Or would you
I'm
be
not
blind?
I'm not
He doesn't
fully.
have the enhanced royal vision that takes away normal sight.
Okay,
So he just can't use his royal vision right now.
right.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
he would be blind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he had taken the
Yeah,
enhanced
that's what I
royal
was
vision, he
thinking.
would just be blind right now.
Well, no, I can't take it because of level requirements.
You're not blind.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Okay. And you know when I was brought in,
Mhm.
how tough did the guards look?
I could take him.
Good.
Um,
I like the way you think.
Really sure they had guns and shit.
No,
Actually,
no,
no,
they
not
are
a single
magic
gun
knights.
among them.
Yeah.
Really?
Describing the guards, they appear to be in what looks like a full plate armor,
Okay.
with a shield and a longsword,
Okay.
and not being magically trained, you're not exactly sure what's going on with it, but it almost looked like they had something that just kind of looked arcane in some way, etched and built and carved into the blades of their longswords.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Um,
what it is, but that would be metagaming.
Yeah.
Do I feel like I can take them in a fight?
You feel like if you got the jump on one of them, you probably
Yeah.
could.
But not all of them.
If there were more than a couple of them, you'd really struggle.
Okay.
I could take out 11 at once, and that went great. I'm here
Okay.
now.
I remember before they took
Alright.
away my spell book, I did decide to look up my sleep spell real quick. I do have the components for it here in my pouch. I assume they didn't take my spell components because they're non-magical, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't have taken those.
Yeah. So if I'm outside of this anti-magic zone, I can put people to sleep pretty effectively.
Okay.
Well, hopefully. I can do it
Unless
night.
they're elves or
They're
other
not.
creatures.
They're not elves. Shut up.
Let me just add unarmed attack to my sheet because I just realized I don't have a plain unarmed attack.
Alright, while you're doing that, we're actually going to cut back over to Doc's conversation.
Okay.
As basically where we left off, Sparks had just made the offer basically to assist in getting your friends out, but it would mean that you'd be heading southward, or actually he would say southwest with them, at least for the moment, and that you probably should not ever come back here.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. What, I would be giving away, the quest with, the gnome.
Well, you do know, if you look at the map, that where the gnome was headed is west of here.
Oh, southwest. Okay.
They're on about going southwest,
And it's southwest, basically.
and the gnome where he was headed was west.
Got it. I mean, I don't really have anything to do in Gilcrest, but we would basically be barred from Gilcrest forever.
Oh no.
Now,
These guys can suck
I
it.
personally don't care. Yeah, I don't personally care, so I'll take that offer. If the only stipulation is we can never come to Gilcrest ever again, and there's no other strings attached, I ask him, does this mean we owe you more favors or more or anything like that? Like, are we gonna owe you for this?
He kind of pauses for a minute and he says, I'm not going to say that Mission Control won't contact you and ask you for something in the future and try to use this as leverage. But for those of us on the ground, we did you wrong by not telling you. So consider this an apology.
Aren't these rogue?
Yeah, but they have their own mission control.
They do? What the shit?
They're a bad company, yeah. They're a Splinter Cell.
Yeah, but I didn't think they were that big. I thought it was just these guys. Okay, cool.
This is just a squad, bro.
Interesting.
Yeah, you've got no idea how big Bad Company is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like 4 or 5 guys maximum, but it seems.
I figured it's probably around like 30 guys that just sick.
Well, there's only about 300 Rangers in the world in total.
Yeah. 30 sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I tell him all right. I mean, I don't have a better plan. Yeah.
He kind of nods and he says, all right, then.
I'll get ready to leave.
You're going to want to get your wagon on the road south before we act. Head. He kind of chuckles at me and he says, well, I'm sure your paladin friend is not going to appreciate this, but we'll be heading towards Barnhaven.
Dun, dun, dun.
Keegan just sort of smirks and shakes his head. And then he opens the door and says, I'm going to get more of those bottles of blue. And then I go buy 2 more bottles of
the really strong stuff.
Of the royal rot.
Yeah.
Rot gut.
Rot gut. As you're leaving, give me a perception.